Hallo miteinander, I'm Gesh86, and this is an amazing little gem of my childhood. It is the second installment of a franchise long thought to be dead, but just a few years back it crawled back out of its grave. Here it says in huge marble letters, it is Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters for the Game Boy. So, let's start a new game and show off this as an LP. So, it's an action platformer with RPG elements. You run, you jump, you shoot, you also duck, and you go through random doors and talk to disembodied heads, as I've just demonstrated. Now, here we meet our first enemy, snakes. Why does it have to be snakes? Actually, it might as well be snakes, because they're the weakest enemy in the game by far. So, we're playing as Pit, the hero of Angel Land, the mightiest warrior in the land. For you, he might look like a pipsqueak. And to be honest, he kind of is at this point. You will get stronger later. If he's the strongest warrior in the whole land, makes you wonder how the other soldiers are doing. They might be terrible. I'm pretty sure they are. Anyway, the objective of these first stages is to always go up. If you go left or right, it'll just loop around. At the very top is the exit to the level. Oh, we've just picked up a nice item, the harp. It turns all enemies into hammers that are on screen currently. So have many enemies on screen if possible, before you pick it up. As for the hammers, why do we need so many hammers? Easy, because they break after one use. I guess they're made of cheap plastic or something. So, right now we're in the treasure room. Very good place for picking up additional hearts and hammers, but if you're unlucky, you'll find the God of Poverty. If that's the case, all the vases disappear. If you can open up all the vases and the God of Poverty would be in the last one, you get a very neat item. Maybe I can show it off. Maybe. On to the next door. This is one of many shops. How do we pay in this game? We pay with hearts. So, they're the Simon's Quest hearts. We want many hammers. We want a gazillion hammers, of course. But we also want bottles of elixir for 250 hearts. We can't afford that right now, but we will be able to later. Now, near the end of the stage, if you went through all the doors, you can find Palutena's key, which reopens all the doors you've been to. I will do that. I will go through them again, and do that off screen. Also grind a little. Now we've finished the first stage. Get some experience, depending on how many enemies we've defeated, and save the game before we proceed to 1-2. Now, I switch to hammers with the select button. I try to check for hidden doors. There are many of them in this game, but not in this one. I kinda confused that with 1-3. Oh, almost jumped into those snakes. Another one of those, well, semi-useless bathrooms. As you can see, I'm using some kind of safe spot. One is where I'm right now. Other one is on a ledge way up there, but only after we've defeated enough bats. We're almost at 200 hearts now. Up there you see a pool of acid. It's not a good idea to jump into this one. Hurts quite a lot. Just like these weird thorns around here that you see. Oh, these platforms, these white ones, They're slippery. Already ice physics. That's never a good sign. But apart from these acid pools, there are these hot springs, which are very good. Shoot this crow in the face. I wonder if they're public hot springs. If you're unlucky, you might meet an old fat guy in it. We have these gruesome flying skulls here. That's because we're actually in the underworld tower. Very upbeat music for being in such a place. You thought it would be much grimmer. I so want that bottle of elixir, but we still can't afford it. I will be able to when I off-screen the second run through this level after getting Palutena's key. But not right now. Now this is a nice and interesting enemy. Actually, it's a very annoying enemy. You have to be all ninja so that he doesn't see you. If he does see you, the Grim Reaper that is, he'll summon his underlings, which are very annoying guys. Once again I find the God of Poverty early. Hate that guy. Another harp. Always wanted. Lure some enemies on screen. And transform. Wow. Imagine what it would be like, what is happening to these enemies. Imagine what it would be if you were turned into a hammer and just picked up. Really so embarrassing, not something you'd want anyone to know. Next part will require some careful jumping over thorns and moving platforms. I actually wouldn't even need that health chalice that I picked up there, but because I bumped into the thorns, I needed it anyways. Annoying crabs. Let's go into this door instead. It's a very important door. Here we meet our mentor Zeus. If we get enough experience until this point, he'll give us a power arrow, which increases our strength to 2. Now our arrows have piercing qualities against weaker enemies, and also more power in general. Now we're at the end of the stage. Once again I'll collect Palutena's key, which is hidden. You must go through all doors in the stage to even make it appear. And I will be back shortly. And we're almost done with this episode. Next time will be stage 1-3. But first, let's accumulate some more experience points and level up for the first time. Awesome job, Pit! Good old Zeus trying to sound like a teenager. So that's it for this time. I'm Gish86, this was Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters. Bis bald!